Hey everybody, it's John Kovacs Jr. hanging out here on StreamYard and on Facebook Live. I'm happy to have a conversation with you today. Let me pull up this and get it all shared. I have some exciting news, and what's exciting to me is making this transition to at home and whatnot. Right now, we have a desk in the corner of our house that basically does everything we need it to. And I realized that no one wants to look at my ceiling fan or my kitchen lights and so forth. So we just ordered our at-home office kit. I just got myself a ring light, which I needed in the first place because look at this lighting right here. Yeah, you get my dark face shadow. And you also get, just not the prettiest looking background. I mean, in the background, you can see we've got a really, really nice island that we like to chop our vegetables on and stuff like that. But it's really interesting because there's a better view, and the better view is over there. We have a nice little corner, a little reading nook, and a couch. And I kind of want to get a portable office table that I can set in the middle of the room and then have it back up to what we like to call our favorite little spot. And then we also got some kits and some things to hook up to our cameras and so forth. So I'm pretty excited. We got some pretty cool things going here. I'm going to just quickly share this with everybody. I know this is like the one thing I have to do every single time. I should get it to go, but this is streaming on several locations. So that's why we have to do that. But now the lines are open. When you get a chance, say hello, and we're going to be talking about some cool stuff today, like really cool stuff. Okay, and we just shared that. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, the internet is awesome right now. It is so on fire. Okay, and I'm going to share. Share to a page. Awesome. Well, while we're getting started here, I want everybody to know that today the sun is shining, at least in Utah. I live up on the Wasatch Back, which is behind Salt Lake City. And here the sun is shining, and it is beautiful outside. A little windy, a little chilly, but it is definitely something that is really exciting because we feel like we've just been in like constant cold for the while, right? We've been super cold. Join our conversations about turning your relationships into partnerships. Boom. Do. Good. Okay. And then one more. Awesome. By the way, everybody, just a quick announcement too. I'm going to be posting about this later on social media, but this Friday and Saturday, we are having a web live launch summit for entrepreneurs. I am not the host. I am a speaker of this launch summit, and the summit is going to be a really cool place to talk about how to get your business and your life geared around what we're doing online here, and how to do things live, right? How to do things like what we're doing. And sorry about my dog. That's my dog Alpha. She wants everybody to know that she's hungry. Anywho, during this live launch, we will be having dozens of speakers, incredible speakers. I get to be one of those speakers, which is awesome. And during this live launch, the Entrepreneurial Summit, we will be presenting on various topics. I will be talking about the 4 essential keys, the irrefutable laws of accountability and how they lead to high performance. And then several other people will also, oh, look, we got comments. This is fantastic. Let me, people are just hitting me up. This is awesome. This is the best part about this. Beast mode, Kyle Taylor. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Love it, love it, love it. In fact, if anyone would like to come on, if you'd like to join the conversations today, click this link. Boom. And then I'll just post it separately. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, appreciate you guys. But anywho, yeah, we good things happening. So I'll be speaking on a live summit this weekend. You are obviously welcome to come. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the live summit and why you'd want to come. Various speakers will be speaking. The conference is hosted by my good friend Kimberly, who is an animal at this. She's so good at creating these live launches, and every 30 minutes is a new speaker, but there are times to take breaks, there are opportunities to step away, there are activities, there are workshops, there are things that you can do all from the comfort of your home and from your computer. And I'm grateful for it because this has been kind of my jump into the online world. It's been a really cool process for me to speak over the internet, over a live feature. You see, I like this. This is fun, and I'm used to talking to a screen anyways, or talking to myself. That's how I actually first wrote my book. When I jumped into the car, I would turn on the recording device, and I would just speak, and I spoke for hours on hours, and recorded every single one of my conversations. And then I turned those conversations into a discussion that I transcribed into what is now my book. And right now we're going into the editing processes and so forth. So pretty cool stuff. But I'm used to this feature. As a public speaker, you are so used to standing on stage, feeling the audience, wondering, who really needs this message, and really leaning into the various topics and the various discussions. And then the energy of a room full of people is something you just can't replace. But when people have their devices and their screens, you can feel a similar energy. You can get there. It just takes a little bit of working the room, right? You've got to understand who's listening, who's in your conversations. And so it's fascinating to me because I really like learning this as we go. I'm learning how to be a better speaker online, but it's been really exciting for me to do this. And so I appreciate all the support, but I'm actually going to drop the link here in everybody's in the comment section. So if you want to know more about the Entrepreneur Rocket Fuel Web Summit, this is the 4th one we're doing, by the way. Pretty cool. I'm going to just post this whole thing. Wow, that's a lot. Her name is Kimberly Hobscheid, and she's a good friend of mine. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay, this is going to be a huge comment. So boom, here we go. All right, so this is just the information you're going to want to know. Holy moly, did you hear? We have assembled another amazing group of experts for your web summit. It's our Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit number 4, April 2 through the 4th. Wow, I didn't actually know it was 4 days, or 3 days. So the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, right? And I speak on one of the days. Secret, just attend and come and find out. You can make the most of this unique time at home, personal experts. We start Thursday, April 2nd. That's good for me to know. And yes, when you log on from your laptop and interact live with entrepreneurial experts who can show you how to eliminate your roadblocks and supercharge your business. That's my favorite line right up from the bat is you really are networking with these people in a live format. You get to talk with a lot of these people and listen to their subjects, take on their materials. Yeah, there will be some opportunities to download free materials. There are gifts given away and that she doesn't want me to tell you that, but I'm telling you, is that there will be gifts given away by the speakers, and every speaker is going to be giving away stuff, or at least most of them are. And so you're going to get like so much value just coming out of attendance, right? And then if you're in attendance, you get copies of everything. We'll be inviting people to our live events coming up in June and July, which, by the way, we'll announce later. So attend like the webinar, and we'll get you the information. You'll all get the information anyways, but this is definitely something that you all want to be a part of. And so there's registrations, and I'm going to post the registrations later, but I just wanted you guys to know what is going to be happening. Oh, and by the way, we start Thursday, April 2nd, and guess what? The attendance is free. I didn't know that, actually. I thought it was a number. There are VIP passes, so if you buy a VIP pass, you will actually get like free access to a lot of the speaker materials and whatnot. But I didn't realize this summit was free. So there's no excuse, you guys. If you have time, starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, to learn as much as you can about the entrepreneurial dream online and to get your life in the right direction and really, really launch your entrepreneurial stuff online. This is a really good conference. That's funny. I should read my emails, right? That should be something I should do continuously. So I'm going to post this. You are all going to love this. And yep, I'm just going to post the chat. It's going to look weird. In fact, I'm actually curious how big this looks. If it like takes up my face, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Ready? 3. Oh no. Okay. YouTube divided it into 2, 3, 4 posts. And yep, check that out. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I'm going to grab this conversation here because this is what we're talking about today. Wow. We're already in a few minutes, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, the topic of today is how to turn your relationships into partnerships. And then I added a little thing at the end. I want you to know that at the end there, that this is how you get paid. This is how you get paid, period. Think about it. Think about it for just a second. Who do you know? Who do you know? If you started a list, if you were to take out your journal or a piece of paper right now and start writing all the names of all the people who you know, and just start writing, my curiosity would be, who's at the top of that list? Who's the first person to come to your mind? Okay. And you start writing down that list and you start writing one by one, who are these people? You're probably going to start writing stuff like your mom, your dad, your business partners, your colleagues. Okay. It's a good place to start. Then you start talking to your friends, and then you start thinking deeper once you've kind of gotten past the friend group, right? And you start thinking about, who have I connected with? Who have I gone to lunch with? Who have I met with? Whose phone numbers do I have in my list? Have you ever gone and just like, I know this is dumb because all of you have a phone which has an address book, right? You have your contacts, and then when you go into your contacts, how many of those people do you keep up with? How many relationships do you continue to further? Okay, so just think about who you know. Now I want you to think about, aside from who you know, why does it matter? What circumstances around you do a lot of these relationships how have these relationships influenced your life, right? It's I'd go as far to say that the majority of your relationships have influenced where you're at today. A lot of people like to believe it was their own success. A lot of people like to believe, no, I earned this. I went to college. I got my degree. I applied for my jobs. I got the job. I had to interview for that job. And now I'm good. I'm me, right? But the truth is we only got the jobs we have. We only maintain the relationships we have. We only grew in our circumstances because of the people who we know. I will go as far to say that. I challenge anyone who says that they've gone the entire direction, the entire way without other people. African proverbs, we all know it. You know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with somebody or go together, right? And to me, that's a fascinating topic because we are who we are because of the people around us. And as we are the people around us, we've given ourselves more and more opportunities to expand, to grow, to be around other people. So how do I turn my relationships into my partnerships? Before we go down that road, you've got to know who are your relationships with. Today, as I woke up, I looked at my, weird, I know most of you look at Facebook. I looked at my contacts and I started thumbing through and I started saying, who have I not reached out to? And I started thinking about the people who I want part of my champion circle, okay? Who I want part of my private groups, my connecting groups, where I leverage and create incredible relationships with. And I started to think, who have I not reached out to? Who has not been invited? Who has not been given the invitation that they're an essential asset to a group that could use them? And I started thinking about that and thought, wow, if I haven't reached out to that person in a while, it might come out of the blue if I'm just trying to sell them. It might come out of the blue if I'm just like, hey, you should come to this group. Instead, I need to maintain those relationships, but I need to know who those people are. So a lot of what I do is recognizing who is in my life, who is in my circles, right? I think it's fascinating because the four circles of anyone's life, I call them the four circles. I like circles. They're incredibly symmetrical. And the four circles of your life, whether they be inceptionized, where there's one inside the other, inside the other, inside the other. You've seen those kind of diagrams, or if they're looping together, if they're coming inside of each other, they all kind of overlap and interlay. But I want you to think about if each circle represented a target, right? You've seen a target before. Every ring closer to the center of a target is the most important piece. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. I got distracted. My dog is jumping all over the place. Every circle that goes closer to the center of the target gets you more value, more points, right? It is something that definitely you want to get closer to the center of the circle. And if you were to think the center as your absolute world, the most important people in your life, the center is the objective, always aiming for the most important people, most important relationships. Who would you add to those relationships? I know there's a bunch of other groups. There's planners out there. There's some incredible companies that I'm very, very familiar with that work off of this basis of your kingdoms, right? And kingdoms are in these circles of influence. The kingdoms are the most important piece. Hey, bud, let me bring my little guy on the screen here. Come here, little guy. Come on. Come on. I know. You're just tired. All right, so this isn't my little guy. This is my brother's little guy. Yep. Look at this little guy. Oh, isn't he cute? I don't know what he is. He's a border collie mix. Anywho, we're babysitting him for the day. Oh, yes. So let me tell you a little bit about your first circle, your inner circle. We can call it that. People have called it their kingdom. People have called it their realm, and so forth. But whatever it is, you have to delve into these people. You've got to spend time, invest in these people. These are the most important people in your life. And a lot of times, these are the people who have the most access to your additional exterior assets and so forth. Hey, bud. Hey. Yeah, you want to just sit and cuddle up for a minute? Okay, he's just going to sit and cuddle up for a minute. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to push this down. Okay, so when you get to the center, focus on the most important people. But as you go outside these rings, as you go outside the rings and into a more the wider, the bigger rings, right? The bigger circles outside the center, right? Those are kind of the outer layers, right? These are the protective layers. These are also the non-essential or non-important or less important. Let's just say that's probably a better term instead of less important or less valued as the centerfold, right? And so when you work on your relationships. Identify who is in your center. Who are the most important people in your life? It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 5, it could be 10, whatever. Okay, I always suggest be your top 5 or your top 10, right? And then as you move to the outer layer, maybe increase that number. What's another group of people who you can manage, who you can continue to maintain relationship with, but don't necessarily need to be 100% with them all the time, or they're not the most essential to your progress and your influence. Think about that. Okay. And as you get the point, right? The further you move out, the less you need those people and the less they need you, but they become essential. Okay, fine. All right. You're down. I think he's hungry. Anyways, bring all this together. The most important pieces in your relationships, you should be able to measure, right? You should be able to know who they are. You should be able to identify them. So I'm going to take my pen and paper right now, and I'm just going to show you what this activity looks like. By the way, if you're jumping on, if you're watching this, feel free to drop a comment so I know you're here. And 2, if you are here and you'd like to talk about this subject, or you have a question, I can bring you up on the screen. We can chat. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into my journal here, and I'm going to draw a target. Little circle, bigger circle, and then one more. Man, I envy those people who can draw like perfect circles. Okay, so you see this, right? You see your circles. I know we're getting really creative. I usually have my whiteboard, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, so your inner circle, most important relationships. Your outer circle, your second most important relationships. I like that. Your third most important relationships. Your fourth most important relationships. An activity that I like to do is I like to draw these circles, and then I like to write the most important people, at least that week. Okay, I do this weekly, and I do this weekly because those people are important to me. I've actually created an A list, a B list, a C list, and a D list. If you're watching and you're like, what list am I on? Contact me individually, and I'll show you, and I'll tell you. And I don't mind at all, because it plays an essential piece to how we work together, to where we are at. And honestly, if you're like, man, I want to be John's number 1, or I want to be John's second circle, maybe I missed out. Maybe I misunderstood our relationship, right? But it's really cool to be able to identify who is in your circles and why. Okay. The why doesn't necessarily matter too much, other than if you were to put them at the top, you know exactly why. You know exactly why. You don't have to dig deep and say, well, why is that person my friend, right? If there's negative influences in your life, people that are sucking the livelihood and the essentialism out of your life, maybe the why is an important question, okay? But it's super interesting to me that a lot of people focus on the wrong things. Okay, a lot of people focus on the wrong things. I'm going to switch this over to the YouTube one just because I think that's cool. Okay, so how do I turn your relationships into partnerships and then get paid? Well, once you've identified who those relationships are, who those people are, it's so important that you now have a plan to do something about those relationships, right? Like I said, if you don't know where you're at in my circles and my target, and you come and ask me and I say, oh, you are in my third circle, and if you're curious why, it's because you and I have this relationship, and I might have misjudged. I may have misinterpreted where you might be. But knowing exactly where we are can tell us where we can go. Well, John, I don't know if you know this, but I have a really, really cool product. Great. Tell me about your product and how can I serve you? And once you have an answer for that reason why, we might be able to come up with a great reason for us to focus on that, for us to build a bigger, better, more constructive relationship that would lead to exponential opportunity. Here's a great story and an example of this. I met a little over a year ago these guys who, in fact, he was just a friend of a friend, and I went golfing with my friend where I met this guy, and we started talking, and I thought he was kind of pitching me on this insurance thing, and I wasn't into it, and I was kind of like trying to give him like solutions by like, oh yeah, I know a lot of people. I can I can send some people your way. They're looking for jobs or they're looking for ways to make money. I know a bunch of salespeople, and I kind of pushed it off. But then he kept investing into me, and he says, John, I want to get on your calendar. John, I want to get on your schedule. John, let's talk. And I didn't know why, but I kept saying, okay, well, I'm interested. I'm learning. Let me know more about what I'm missing out. Come to find out that this product was freaking amazing. Like, this is something that we all should be doing. No one in their lifetime these days, no millennial has properly prepared for retirement. And a lot of us are in a big, big hole, and we don't know how to manage our lifestyle because we like our lifestyle. And these guys created a solution for those people who don't want to change their lifestyle, but want to still help you pay off things, still help you grow your money and increase your money without getting into crazy investments and stuff like that. And it was so cool. And I realized, oh my gosh, every household in America could benefit from this product. Why didn't you tell me that? And he says, well, John, I was trying to tell you, but you kept thinking I was pitching you. And I was like, yeah, you were. But this relationship, this friendship where I was just golfing with this guy turned to, hey, let's have meetings every week and let's go golfing, right? We still had our golf relationship and we still had our friendship, and we ended up doing more than golfing, like going out and eating, hanging out, spending time together, that kind of stuff. And this relationship grew into something that now is giving us monthly revenue. This is giving us opportunities to save people, to change their lifestyle, or not change their lifestyles, but enhance their lifestyles, to help people pay bills that they couldn't pay before because of their lifestyles. We started creating opportunities for people, and we started flooding those people over there. And all of a sudden, I was doing a really good thing. They were doing a really good thing. Their business was growing. I was benefiting from it. The people we were introducing to this concept were benefiting from it. And all of a sudden, this relationship went from a golf date to, dude, I want to know how I can work with you more. I want to know how we can be on each other's calendars. I want to know how we can make this blow up completely and do really, really well. And we've now become really, really close friends, really, really close partners. And it's turned into something that we can do for each other. Now, not every relationship is going to work like that. Not every one of your top 5, your top 10, your top 15 are going to work like that. But you've got to invest in what they could do. You have to be open to what they could provide. And that is an essential piece. If you're not willing to be open to those discussions, if you're not open to even the possibility of there being something really, really cool, then you're going to miss them. You're missing out on them everywhere. I'm telling you that this conversation from a golf date to what it is now is a multi-million-dollar relationship. And it's also in the making. There's so many great things that are coming from this one relationship. In fact, this relationship has evolved into us being friends, us being on each other's board of advisors, and so much more. There's so many great things that it has led to. Now, what I don't want people to misunderstand is not every relationship deserves a partnership. Okay, not every relationship deserves to have some sort of monetized connection. I know a family of people who are so interconnected, and they're a part of every business deal together, and it's absolutely awesome. It's really cool to watch, but they're unique. They're very, very unique. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone can turn their best friend into the highest producer of income, additional income in their life, right? But I will tell you that you're missing out if you don't understand what your friends can offer. Okay. We had a guy who we knew very, very well, who we asked one day, like, what do you do for work? I don't even know. Like, we just hung out, we just like did stuff, but then we just kind of inquired of what they do for work. And we realized that that was something that we needed. We needed graphic designer. We needed something that was going to help us, right? And that person had it. And all of a sudden we had the option of working with our closest relationship. And actually, here's another good story. Where I live, we have a really good friend who moved here from Germany, and they have been the nicest persons and individuals. And that person just launched a business recently. They launched their own German recipe pretzel company, and we told them that we would buy. And when they came to us, they said, oh, don't worry, we gave you the friend discount. I gave her a look and I paid double. I said, there's no such thing as a friend discount. In fact, your friends should double support you. And we're all in. We're buying your pretzels for double the price. And we did. We bought her pretzels for double the price. And she was like, no, 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 no. I want to give this to you guys. You guys are wonderful. You're my friends. And say, don't misunderstand me. We know. We know we're friends, which is why I am paying double for you, because you're awesome. And that's how some of your relationships turn out to be. You don't have to do that. I get it. People like their discounts. People like their ins. People like it when they don't have to pay as much because they know somebody or they get the best deals. I get it. But when you love and trust someone so much, a friend, you're willing to do more for that person. And that's where it becomes the opportunity of a partnership. That's where it becomes the opportunity to get paid. So just understand that there are various areas and angles to this particular subject. But I want you to know how you turn your relationships into partnerships is how you get paid. That's why I added the plus, and that's why I added the get paid, because there are so many things that you can do to get paid, right? That you can increase your life. They say that wealthy people, the one or the top 3%, are the people who have multiple streams of income. They obviously do a bunch of other things. Let's just not take that out of context, right? They obviously do a lot of stuff. But out of that stuff, they are building partnerships. They're building relationships that last and lead longer into their lives. So again, let's go back to the example. You have your target, right? Let me open up to my target. Boom. You've got wrong side. I always do this because it's inverted. You've got your most important people. You've got your second most important people and your third most important people. If you want to keep going, you can. If you're that curious on who you have in your relationships, who you have in your partnerships, or just who you know, that's a really good exercise. And I would do it often. I wouldn't do it just once. But one time you're going to understand, wow, I know a lot of people. Wow, this is very interesting. And then you're going to understand, or you're going to see, or you're going to know how you can turn those people into relationships that actually get you paid. Okay. Now, my number one advice is, how do I turn these people into continuous relationships? Well, first of all, let me back up here for a second, because there's something really important about this piece. If you do this exercise and you recognize that you don't really have that many people who are of influence or of wealth or of affluence, or people who could just help you, neither one are essential, but all of them have great points, right? And a lot of us look for those friends, not to beg from them or to benefit from them, right? You shouldn't be thinking internally. You should be thinking about how you can help. But as we say this, as you go through this exercise and you recognize that you might have one or two people of influence and the rest are like your mom, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your neighbor, and stuff like that, and you can't really do anything, then it's time to think a little bit bigger. It's time to take your exterior markets, bringing this up again. It's time to take these groups and move them inward, right? And the way you do that is you start developing deeper, kinder, friendlier relationships. And then you move from here to here. And you do that by adding value, talking with them, sharing with them, right? And you got to take your relationships and you've got to move them towards the center. And as you do that, you then continue to do the process of learning more about each other and being open to the idea of helping each other. Okay. Here's another thought. Tickle this idea with me for a minute. When you don't have these people in your life, or you don't necessarily know how to, or maybe the most important people who should be in your life are on the way, 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 way far outskirts, and you have no way or opportunity to bring them in the middle, which is false. I disagree with that. But let's just say for a minute, it seems like a long process. That's why you join peer groups, connecting groups, mastermind groups, social groups. That's why you get out and you network. So that's kind of the basis of why people go out and network. They're looking for people that they can build relationships. Yes, most people go out to network so they can sell. Most people go to groups and then they can get to know them so that they connect and build relationships and possibly even partnerships that lead to sales or whatever. The most important thing, I'm going to click out of something. This is distracting. You guys ever on Facebook and the Messenger app just pops up? Yeah, I got to turn that off. But as you turn these relationships into things, there are better ways and faster ways to do this by joining social circles. Okay, social circles are great places. Let me warn you about something. Your social circles can be the most impressive, can be the most influential groups and influences in your life. Now, I want to warn you. Remember why you do what you do. I play tennis with my tennis friends because tennis is a place where we get together, we exercise, we chat. And then those chats lead to lunches, and those lunches lead to maybe deals and so forth, okay? But what is most important is where you tend to want to take those strategies, where you want those relationships to go. That will also help you figure out what you want to be doing. Okay? It's an important piece. So as you decide who you want to surround yourself with, remember that you got to delve into them. You've got to invest in them. You've got to talk to them. You've got to spend time with them. This is a process. But I've had conversations as easy as, let's go play golf. And then we walk off the golf course 2.5 hours later after 9 holes, and we've already got a business deal in place that benefits both of us, that creates an incredible opportunity, right? These kinds of things happen all the time. So it all depends on your mindset, which we talked about yesterday. Mondays are mindset days, okay? Mondays are mindset days. Tuesdays, we talk about relationships. Turning those relationships into partnerships that get you paid. So with as we've gone 37 minutes into this conversation, and no one has commented, I wonder if the timing is working, if the content is okay, if I'm annoying, or if there's just something that just isn't clicking. But I want people to understand that your relationships now more than ever are so important. As we are in quarantine, as we are facing pandemic, epidemic conversations, we have got to invest in and turn our time and our resources over to these people. Okay. You need to identify your top 5. So that's kind of homework. If you're following along at home, this is your homework to identify the most important people in these circles. Okay. I ask that you do just three circles. Okay. The most important top 5 or top 10 people. And then you go from there to the next top 15, and then from there outward. Okay. It's interesting because if you don't have an idea of who these people are or whatnot, then you need to find yourself a social circle. Now, I mentioned tennis, I mentioned golf, and right now we're all in quarantine. We can't go outside. But there are places and people who you can surround yourself with. For example, this weekend, if you want to meet a lot of great people all interested in an entrepreneurship, I posted a comment that says, come to our live launch, the Entrepreneurial Rocket Fuel webinar summit. Starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is a really, really cool opportunity for us to all engage with other speakers, other entrepreneurs, and to learn from each other, okay? And there's a great group to start. The Champion Circle, applications are out now. Go find them, okay? If you don't know where, DM me. I'll tell you how to get there. But conversations about the Champion Circle are the exact circles that are strategically designed to get you paid, to turn relationships into partnerships. That's an education piece that we continuously talk about to get you everything you need, okay? So that's an important piece that you should recognize. Where do I go? How much do I need to pay? What do I need to do to get into the circles of the people who I need to be around in? I tell you that it was by coincidence I built relationships with my friends in this financial industry. But I had that because I was actively strategizing in how I connect with people. Golf was one of the strategies. Tennis is another one, okay? Maybe biking or cycling groups is one of them, okay? Pizza and profits is a thing that we do, and it's something that we gain from a really cool experience from a cruise, actually a marketer's cruise. But we do networking groups over at Pizza or Cars and Coffee, people who bring their cars and get their coffee and hang out by other cars. It's really cool. There are things that we have done in the past to surround people. Now, my business is to create these relationships, to broker these relationships for you. So that's why you trust me. That's why you care about our relationship, our friendship, because I design events, I design opportunities for you to connect with people so that you can meet the right people to grow your life and your business and get paid, right? These are the kinds of things that I help you with. I'm a master at this process. I've done it since I was 12 years old. I've built businesses, I've built relationships, I've turned them into incredible things. So that's something that you are investing in when you are my friend, when you and I talk, when we become partners, right? We turn this relationship into something great. But I've already offered, I've already given, I've already launched things that you can get involved in today that will help you streamline and quicken, fasten this process. Okay. The Champion Circle is one of them. Amplified Minds hosts regular networking events and now switching to online networking events. Pretty cool, right? And then we're also talking about live summits. There's one coming up this weekend. You got to invest. You got to spend the time to come to this, right? You want to be there. So there you go. There's some pretty cool stuff. I want you all to know that this is a really, really important piece. And I believe this because it has been my life. It has been my business. It has been everything that I've invested into. And not that I'm putting all my eggs in the same basket, but what I'm talking about here is your relationships are your most important assets. Okay. You might think that skills and intuition and mindset are important. They are. But you're going to be working really hard. You're going to be working really hard, almost too hard, if you don't have the right people in your life. That's what this is all about, right? If you don't have the right people in your life, you're missing out on thousands of dollars. I just got a comment from Hilda Ava. And Hilda, I don't know how to say your last name, but I'm going to click on it. I'm going to bring it up onto the screen. She says, agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, your relationships are so important. If you don't have the right people in your life, and you should, she says, oh my gosh, preach to me. If you don't have the right people in your life, you're missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars. I say this over and over again. People are probably getting sick of it, but I'm going to say it until it sticks. Last year, by hosting free networking events, people question, well, what's the purpose of this? Why are you guys doing this? Look, by helping people get together, creating the right environment, and having the right activities, we helped broker over $20 million worth of transactions. That's $20 million that you left on the table. That's $20 million that you did not have access to. How many of you would like to be a part of that $20 million, right? And here's the fun part. My business didn't get a cent of that because we brokered the environment. We created the relationships by allowing people in the right room. So when you surround yourself with the right people, that's where you get to build relationships into partnerships that get you paid. Okay. The relationship I told you about, the one I was golfing with that turned into this multi-million-dollar relationship, that I got to bring them up on my stage. I got to show them how important they were to us by delving deeper into the opportunity of sharing more leads, getting them introduced to more people, and so forth. So it's very, very, very important that you know the right people. Amplified Minds has created free groups, online groups, paid groups. In fact, the most effective one right now is our Champion Circle. And the Champion Circle is a place where it was strategically designed and created for you to build the relationships that actually turn to partnerships and get you paid, that turn your relationships and friendships into the deepest ones you can create within your circles. We create these circles with you and for you, okay? Because think of it this way. Every year, now this is kind of a sore subject because the NBA has been canceled, right? But every year, the championship basketball teams all enter into the same league, right? 32 teams, all playing for the same title. and there's usually only one victor. And you don't really know who that is at the beginning of the season. You kind of know in between the middle of the season. You get surprised when it gets to playoff season. But at the beginning of the year, everybody who gets together, they get together to play ball. And when they play ball, they work together, they become a team, they become friends, right? But it's the teams that invest in their best strengths, their most talented individuals, and they work around those people. They work together and they build things together. Those teams, they have more than success in the playoffs. They have more than success throughout the season. Nobody has a mediocre season or like a really, really bad season and ends up going and wins the championship. There's typically other factors that go into it, right? But think about you and think about the people you need to surround you with. Who is your all-star team? Are they in the center? Are they in the middle here? Is your all-star team the people who you surround yourself with every day? What about your exterior group? Are these your bench warmers? Or are these the people supporting you? Are these the people that you support and then give you help? What about these people? How are you surrounding yourself with a champion-like team? How are you giving yourself the things that are going to help you and help them so that you can grow, so that everything in your life grows, so that everything in your life is prosperous and amazing? You guys, this isn't theory. This is not theory. This is factual. It is proven, and we've seen it, and we saw it in $20 million last year. So that's my invitation to us all. Okay, that's my invitation to everybody, is to focus on what matters. Hilda, if you want to come onto the screen, you're more than welcome to. I put a link, if you're still watching, I put a link here in the comments section. Okay, I'm going to post it right now, right below. This link will invite you to join me on the screen if you would like to have a quick conversation. I've got about 14 minutes left of this broadcast. And if you would like to talk a little bit more, introduce yourself and talk about this, I'd love to mastermind with you. Just click on it and follow the instructions. It'll bring you on, and then I'll bring you on, and we can go onto the screen together. But I'm hopeful that we can continue to delve deeper into this conversation with other people. Anywho, if you are looking to increase your relationships and get paid, this is how you do it, okay? You do it by surrounding yourself with the right people. You do it by focusing on the things that will give you the most benefit and the way that you can serve other people. I've seen this happen time and time again. Okay, so how do you turn your relationships into partnerships? Well, identify who your relationships are. Create a strategy. Here's number two. Create a strategy on how you continually serve them and how you invest in more time with them and understand where they're at and where their strengths and what they're working on. Okay, and then three, be open to opportunity. Be open to opportunity that allows you two to work together. Have you ever heard and this is no comparison, but I want to just help you just play with me for a minute, okay? As you turn your relationships into partnerships, imagine this. It's not always about you. It's not always about me, right? It's always about where we could go. This is my favorite thing to show people. It's not about you. And it's not about, hey, Hilda's coming on. Hey, I'll bring you on in just a second. If you can get your microphone and your camera on, that would be awesome. You don't have to, but it'd be great. Anyways, you and me. But if I turn me upside down, like mirror me, it kind of works, okay? So when I take, again, I don't have my whiteboard, but I crossed out you. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about me mirrored, which is essentially we. Super, super important, really cool principle, because when you work together and you are open to possibility, you create opportunities that are endless. I see this with almost all of my inner circle and my second circle. I'm working on developing that for my outer circle. And sometimes the best way to do that is develop programs where you can include your outer circles as well. Okay, I'm going to try and bring Hilda.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're not going to be able to see me because it says that I need to update my something on my iPhone in order for me to use the video.
No worries, not at all. Hey, it's great to hear from you. How are you?
I'm doing amazing working from home, but I'm going crazy.
Okay, tell me about that. What's so amazing about working from home?
The fact that I can work from home. I'm a multitasker. So I
Yeah.
can work from home. I could do laundry. I could go for a run and then still come back and get done what I need to get done. I can't do that when I'm in the office.
I totally get it. I totally understand that too because I don't have to spend time traveling. I don't have to spend time commuting. I don't have to spend time getting things prepared. I just get out of the shower, I eat my breakfast, and I'm already at work. It's kind of been awesome.
I love that too. However, I'm a people person. I need
I
interaction with
know.
people.
So how are you adjusting? What has been the one thing that you've been able to do to help fuel or feed this yearning to hang out with people, to be around people? Oh, did I lose you? Doesn't look like it. Let me just see here. Hilda, can you hear me? Oh no, we may have lost her. Well, she raised her hand. Let me try do this. Let me try bringing her off, and then let's try bringing her back on. Hilda, can you hear me? Oh no, we lost her. She was about to tell us some really, really cool things. Hey, if I did lose you, I apologize. Yeah, just turned off. Okay, interesting. Maybe she'll jump back on. But anywho, guys, this is really cool because she said, I'm a people person. I am too. Oh, she's back. Let's try this again. Hilda, are you there? Oh no. Can you hear me? Well, I'll keep talking and then just interrupt me when you feel like you can. I'll stop talking when you talk, but just keep talking. If you get into this, we can do it. But Hilda said that she's the people person, and I am too. And we love people, and being surrounded by great people is something that we yearn for, we need, right? We have to be out and about. And it's so hard to be quarantined. It's so hard to be chained to one location. And I called it house arrest, but it's a home order, right? Stay at home order. And it's super important that people understand how they can build their relationships with their friends, though under quarantine. Hilda, are you with me? Oh, bummer. Hey, we just keep having this really cool like party. There's me, and then there's this block over here. I'd love to chat with you. Oh man, but anywho, some of the things that we've been doing and we've been adjusting to be able to spend time with people. Maybe that's a discussion we need to have on this show. Maybe it's a discussion we need to have during these conversations. Is how to get people. Okay, how to get people together when they can't be together. How to talk to other people when they can't spend time in person together. Okay, one more try. Let's give it another try. Hilda, can you hear me? Oh, I feel like she's trying so hard and it's just not working. I feel so bad and so sorry for you, but I know we'll get a chance to talk. Thank you for your comments and thank you for saying, oh my gosh, preach to me. That's freaking awesome. It's great to have really cool friends, people you've been connected with. I think I connected with Hilda through my good friend, Jeff Griffin, and just some incredible, awesome conversations talking about how to overcome these times at home by spending more time at home and doing really cool things like push-ups and working out. My wife and I have been spending more time doing yoga and doing things like that. But what a fun time it's been to be at home and to invest in my personal health. Okay, one more time. Let's give it a shot. How about now, Hilda? Can you hear me? Oh no, that's a bummer. I unmuted her mic. Okay, well, it doesn't seem like it's working, so I apologize. I don't know what it is. On my end, everything's working great, but it's not on. It must be on your end or phone or whatever. But I hope that we'll get to chat soon. The most important piece about all these conversations is that you need to invest in the people who you know. Okay. And there are ideas and ways that I've been doing that, and I'll share those with you. The most important way that I've been reaching out to people has been text, FaceTime, Messenger, FaceTime, where you go and just kind of video chat and video call people. One of my new favorite apps has been Marco Polo. Here's some of my communications apps, right? Marco Polo, Snapchat. There's been a few things in there. I've really enjoyed using Bitmoji and a few other Bmoji as well. It's a little bit more interactive, and a few other ways to stay in touch with people. My family also uses Signal, WhatsApp, and Messenger has been a a blessing. I was going to say Messenger has been a messenger from the heavens because it has allowed me to connect with so many people in so many cool and exciting ways. And so I've been able to keep up with people so that I've been able to develop incredible relationships. So I'm going to end this broadcast just a little bit early so I can have a lunch break with my family and to do this. But this is the conversations that we've been having. Please save this information on how you can develop your relationship and your partnerships. My invitation to you is to draw a target and to identify who the people are in the center of your target, the outer layer, and so forth. And then as you move outward, I encourage you to identify how you can serve those people. And as you do that, you will find ways and opportunities to turn those relationships into partnerships. My invitation to you today is to join our champion circle, to apply for our champion circle. And to do that, please contact me directly, and we will give you an invitation to apply for that group. Now, the reason why you apply is because this is a specialty group. It's a group of people who have been designed to build the types of relationships that we're talking about, the types of opportunities to get you paid, to get you in a life and in the lifestyle that you love, that you absolutely adore, with the people who you adore. And that's how you do it. So we encourage you to do that, and we ask that you reach out to me individually, and we'll contact each of you, and we'll create some opportunity there. So as you seek more information, let me pull up one last thing. I think the most important piece here too is just knowing that what we're getting into next broadcast tomorrow at noon is going to be covering the subjects of pulling it up. And I feel like we alternate. We go from, oh man, I'm so excited for this. Okay. We are going to be having a conversation about tools and resources. And tomorrow we're going to be having a mastermind discussion and chat with TJ Menlove, the Chief Marketing Officer of a group called YPC. And YPC is an incredible connection tool to help you stay connected, to build relationships with people virtually. And it's one of my favorite connecting tools. It's got really, really cool features. The way to spread your e-card, but not do it the weird way. I've tried so many other e-card, e-business card platforms, and they've all been weird. This one is awesome, flat out really cool, an incredible opportunity. So that's what we're bringing on tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow our conversation with TJ Menlove, Chief Marketing Officer of YPC, and we'll be talking about how you can download that free app and get started with YPC and using it as a tool to stay in touch, to develop and maintain your relationships with people. Okay, signing out. Have a wonderful rest of your day.